And today I've got Kieran with me, a die-hard to the blood Norwich City fan. We're going to talk all things Canaries. Kieran, what do you think of the season?
Well, I think I speak for a lot of fans in that we expected a lot more from this season. We wanted a lot more, but with what we spent, we kind of knew that we weren't going to be up in the top 10, but we certainly wanted the team to be more productive and score more and create more chances. But obviously that hasn't happened, and which has left us in this situation.
Sure. What do you think to Delia's sort of strategy of not really spending a lot, to not get into financial difficulty too much? Do you think that's sort of bit in the backside a bit, or can you see what the thinking was, or you wish they sort of splashed the cash and sort of went for it a bit?
Well, I think I can see from both sides. As fans, we want to see the best football possible, but also as fans, we have to be realistic. We haven't got billionaire owners that are going to chuck £30-40 million on a player. We'd rather be able to build a team that can compete. It might not be a top 10, top 6 team, or top 3, but we want a team that can compete. And this season, we've got players. We have a perfect team. The team is good, but it's the individuals are good, but the team as a collective just haven't delivered.
Do you think that's Daniel Farker's fault, or do you feel, do you feel that he's lost the dressing room? Do you think he'll stay, or what do you think of that situation?
Well, Farker's already said pre-West Ham that he is staying. And I want to see him, give him a chance, because we as Norwich fans were told when Stuart and Daniel came in that it was a 5-year plan, and we were ahead of that 5-year plan. But as Norwich fans, we also know that we are the yo-yo club. No, if everyone knows Norwich, it's a yo-yo club. We don't want to be known as that, but obviously because of our situations and our willingness to compete at some games, it's just. But I think Delia has done her. I think she's fine. I'd keep her. I know that would be controversial to some people with what this season's proved, but I think at the ultimate, we're never going to be that team. Obviously, we'd want more investment in the team, which hopefully this season we will see, because Stuart Webber will then realise that we can't. We've used the same tactics two seasons in a row. So as soon as these championship teams see this team, 99% of them have already played that exact same team. So we need to be able to throw in a few players that may happen to create or confuse opponents next season in the championship.
So I suppose, Kieran, the big question is, who do you think is going to be sold, and how much do you want to see certain players go for?
Well, it depends who we're looking at, because obviously if you look at someone like Buendia, who's performed pretty excellently all season, and don't get me wrong, we'd love to keep our youth, our talent like Todd, Max, Jamal, Ben, but we know we're going to have to lose at least 1 or 2 of them. And there have been rumours on Sky saying 50 million for Ben Godfrey, but to be honest, I'd take 20, 25 million. I know that seems a lot, but a lot of teams are looking for that English youth, because they know that these players have just at the start of their careers, and they've got a lot more potential in them.
Sure. What was your instant reaction when you saw Cantwell sitting on the pitch a game or 2 ago after the last home defeat, and everybody else went in the dressing room? What did that sort of say to you?
That said to me, that couldn't have screamed more than "I'm sorry, I didn't do enough." He's the whole team knew that they haven't done enough. As the Norwich fans have seen over the past few days, the players have started to apologise for their season. But Todd is a Durham boy, born and bred, so he's local. He knows what it means to the fans, and he's in a really awkward situation as a footballer, being both a fan of the club and playing for the club, because he knows exactly how the fans feel.
Yeah. If you was Todd Cantwell right now, would you stay for a season and go for it, or would you feel you'd have to move on because of the wages?
I'd particularly look at staying, but I also wouldn't blame him if a money move came in that he wanted to go.
Sure.
Because as a Norwich fan, we need the money. I know when we're kind of set ourselves good as Webber's 5-year plan. We're good with the money now, because I think after the James Maddison, we're not doing too well. After James Maddison got sold, I think we were sort of financially becoming more of a stable club.
I mean, Norwich clearly have a very good scouting setup, because obviously, I believe Pookie was found on a free transfer, if I'm right.
Yeah, we've got a few transfers, and we've got a few loanees that went out last season that I think, but don't get me wrong, they may be able to perform. But we've got players like Daniel Sinani. He played at Dunwich in the Dutch Second League, and he's looked quite promising watching highlights, bearing in mind it's a Dutch Second League, so we've taken it can be completely different with the Championship. And we've got players like Sam McCullum, who played for Coventry. He's looking promising, but we've also got a few players that say to me that they will be replacements. So that's what I've seen a few Norwich fans saying, that we've got players now that are potentially the club have prepared to lose players. If you get what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I mean, when we saw Huddersfield come down, I think everybody expected them to go straight back up, but they're struggling to actually stay out of the relegation zone in the Championship. I mean, me personally, I don't see Norwich having that problem, but the Championship, as we know, is getting ever more competitive. Do you feel that's going to surprise your lads eventually, and might be harder than they expect?
Well, as I said, a lot of our lads have already played Championship and Premier League football, but I think what they're going to see this season is they can't use the same tactics that they've used. Don't get me wrong, against certain Championship teams that you can use similar tactics to what we did with the flying wing backs, but against people like your Derbies and all the others that will just send it in straight behind. Because we had a particular problem, especially with the West Ham game, that our fullbacks would fly up, but then they would not track back quick enough.
Yeah.
So that West Ham would send one into that gap, and then that would be where Antonio scored.
Do you see Tim Cross down between the six?
Yes. But I don't see a move coming for him, if I'm honest. I'd like to keep him, and to be honest, I think Norwich will do everything to keep him, because we've got no second choice keeper. Michael McGovern has played, I think, about 3 times this season, and they were in the cup game, and I want to keep Tim cool with every ounce, but I also think we need to buy another keeper, a second choice keeper, because we are struggling, because we don't want to have to use McGovern in a important Championship match, because don't get me wrong, he's a perfect servant for the club and he has put in some excellent performances, but when we've got to forward think, because we know at some point it could be a playoff situation, and we want to be able to have someone that's a suitable replacement. Now, I've been looking at potentially Angus Gunn, because Southampton are on about selling him because he just hasn't performed. Now, I know that's a big move for him back to Norwich, because he's obviously gone from being first choice to second choice. And I think the whole 9-0 that Leicester had against Southampton had kind of not helped him a lot, because that's when I think Southampton keeper Alex McCarthy had come in.
I was kind of surprised.
I'd like to see Angus Gunn back. I don't know whether
to be honest with you, mate. you know, when Gunn
we had him on loan.
I was actually really surprised because I actually rate the guy. I think he's a very good shot stopper. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I actually like Gunn. I think he could be on something there if things were to happen.
Well, because we had him on loan from Man City, and then he went back because we had that wonder season where we had the Maddison and we had our dream season, the dream players, and then it was kind of like we tried to use championship tactics in the Premier League, and against certain teams it worked, but against other teams it was just a disaster because they have 4 times one of their players' wages is the same as most of our team put together, so it's kind of you want to win. We've had some memorable wins against Man City, and we've beaten Tottenham on penalties. I know that's not a massive thing, but it's a case of...
That must frustrate people like yourself and the rest of the Norwich fans when you can do that against 2 of the biggest teams in English football, and then you struggle at the foot of the table. That must be a little frustrating for you guys.
I'd hands down take losing to Man City and then beating the other teams around us 100%, because, don't get me wrong, beating Man City will live in the memory of every Norwich fan for a very long time. But we've also got to think that we played, I can't remember who it was, but it was someone like Crystal Palace the weekend after, and we ended up losing. So it's kind of, we were on a high and then we kicked back down onto sort of a level playing field.
Yeah, do you think Daniel's biggest headache is the defence, or do you think there's only a certain 1 or 2 sort of players in the 11 that have been the problem this year?
Well, I don't think particularly we've had very bad injury problems. That's no doubt about it. Any Norwich fan will tell you we have had horrible injury problems. Now we're not putting the blame on the injuries because that's not what the case is. Just the players that have come in haven't performed as well as the ones that have gone out. So when I saw that we'd lost Zimmerman, Hanley and Byram, I was kind of a bit, oh my God, because we hadn't had to throw in Tim Close, who, bearing in mind, I think the last time he played was against our 1-0 loss in the Carabao Cup against Crawley, and that was over a year ago. So it was kind of like we knew that he was going to be rusty. And we have a problem with Ben Godfrey in the fact that he's a good player, but we've got to think that a lot of Norwich fans have been saying when you watch him forward, he's quick, but we don't think centre-back's Ben Godfrey's natural position.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some figures here for you, Kieran. Some of the stats say that Norwich score 0.74 goals a game. They let in at least 1.91 goals a game. That's the sort of story of the season, isn't it, mate? Really?
It's an unfortunate thing. I mean, the fact that we've got to thank Tim Krul for this season. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. I don't even think we would have got that many points. Tim Krul, okay, he may have made a few mistakes, but primarily the one against Arsenal. But it's a key. He's a keeper. He's going to make a mistake. It's just a case about him. He's kept us in so many games this season. I mean, against Man United at home when we lost 4-1, it could have ended up being 5 or 6 easily without his penalty saves. Yeah. And obviously, his when he saved the penalties against Tottenham again, that's a massive thing for the club because we got the furthest we have done in 28 years. So.
Sure. I mean, something Sky Sports said yesterday, which was really interesting. It takes Norwich 122 minutes to score 1 goal, but it takes 47 minutes to concede 1 goal. Again, I suppose you could argue the boys at the top of the pitch just haven't been getting the service of the delivery of the ball, have they, really?
Well, we can't. Pukki's had a good start to the season against Newcastle with his hat-trick and all of that, but it's kind of a bit like nothing's really happened for us. Like, the service there, because of how our wing-backs are quick, we struggle then when it gets to that midfield area, because when you come up against your Van Dijks and your Fabinhos and your Alexander Arnolds, you know that they're going to come straight at you, and you want to try and get in behind, which you know is going to be the issue.
Sure. I mean, one thing that I was actually impressed that I saw with Norwich, throughout the season, 48% of wins have come in the first half, but you actually win more games in the second half at 52%. So it seems really that you lads do more of the hard work in the second half.
Yeah, but we've only won 5 games this season in the league, so it's kind of a bit like awkward for us because it's 5 games. Anyone that's a football fan knows 5 games is you need more wins, because we knew that we weren't going to be. We knew we were going to be fighting for relegation this season, but it was just a case of we wanted to see more. Because we know we as Norwich fans may be very, very critical as a team, but that's the only reason we're so critical is because we know the potential of those players, and other football fans know the potential of those players.